young boy? That's a great question. And judgment that be brave, but EG is focused on keeping Tyrone Magai out of Achimota School. This appeal is so needless, shaking my head. What's Ghana? Wow. Achimota School versus the boy who refused to cut or trim his hair. Yes, the school is a public institution, and every public institution has a set of rules. No one was born with religion. I'm sure his hair was short when he was born. Maybe I'm wrong, but there have been a lot of... So there's more to that.
There's like 6 or 7 tweets. This tweets just go on and on and on.
So it's a thread?
He makes a whole... It's a whole thread, and he makes an argument about, hey, the rules and regulations must work, you know, so... bottom line, the person needs an education, and we'll see what happens at the end of this appeal. But it's quite ironic that Achimota School has fielded him in their National Science and Maths quiz. Because they need to win laurels for the school. You know? And if the guy, from all indications, from what we are being told, he's quite a brilliant chap. And if he's earned a spot on the team, then he's earned it. I think this matter should have been allowed to rest. It created a lot of buzz when it was happening. And once a court has come, I mean, people have moved on from there. Why do you want to reopen that conversation? You are going to just bring a lot more unnecessary attention on the young boy who should rather be focusing on his studies. I mean, it's unnecessary. And while we're on the subject of hair, why do we even regulate people's hairs? We are in a country, people who wear dreadlocks and, you know, other hairstyles, especially natural hairstyles, are forced to always tame their hair. And we are Africans. There's no taming African hair. The hair's not wild.
It's what it is. So if he's keeping it decent and it's not interfering with his studies and it's not distracting anybody, I mean...
My last comment on this, I heard a radio presenter, Black Rasta, was saying, isn't it not ironic that the judges on this case all have big hair, and the school authorities probably also are walking around with fake hair.
With wigs, like mine.
And then they are dealing with a case
who
of somebody
who
has natural hair.
So wiggers, use your real hair.
Okay, so leakages, and it's not about Ghana.
Can I also just say that if we are talking about hairs, I have never understood why girls needed to cut their hair to go to school. Okay. So if I have a daughter and she wanted to go into public school, apart from nursery, was going into a public school, a government institution, she has to cut her hair.
Yeah, maybe they're thinking about lice and infections and things like that. So if it's short, it's easier to maintain.
Really? Okay,
maybe.
No problem. But Kofi says no more hairs because he's good. Kofi, you got this your baba, so let's have this hair conversation without you.
One of these days, I'm going to come here something, man. I'm just going to cut all my hair, man.
Oh, I thought you were bringing your baba to come and speak.
Yeah, I'll have it. I'll do it here.
Well, let's hope WAEC doesn't have a problem with hairs because they have their hands full at the minute, don't they? And they are doing a lot of damage control. Leakage. After a report emerged that yesterday's science, was it, paper was leaked, and so the paper had to be cancelled. So there's a press encounter they had yesterday. I'm sad.
And on the headlines, we'll be having a conversation on the whole leakage thing. But there are 11 schools which are being monitored as we speak.
I want a list of all those schools.
11 schools. I will list those schools for you. There are WhatsApp and Telegram groups where people are dropping a poll like there's no tomorrow. You know, and the names of some of these groups, these groups, I shall share them with you when we do the headlines in a couple of minutes. So you stay tuned. WAEC all the time.
Here's an opinion. It says, total disgrace to WAEC, Ministry of Education and GS. No one should put the blame on any student. Some of them really worked hard and prepared for this physics paper with no intention of cheating. We never learn as a country, and it's just sad.
Yes, some of them, but a lot of people are also cheating. They have WhatsApp groups on this thing, right?
EduWatch is saying today's physics and business management rescheduled indefinitely by WAEC. Great, the leak is just too much. Won't be surprised if others are cancelled. WAEC must be decisive on all these leaks. We must restore credibility in WAEC.
And the credibility is a big deal because in some countries they look at results coming from West Africa with, you know, a side eye. So, well, what kind of results are these? Okay, go and do another test just to make sure that you're not the one who is bringing in fake results. As an educationist, one thing I would love the Ministry of Education, parents and GS to do is to seek some form of accountability from WAEC, West African Exams Council. Every year we hear papers leaking and papers getting cancelled with no apology to students, even teachers who prepare these learners. Well,
look, I mean, if you have access to documents that are meant to be confidential and you share them on social media, guys, Like, really, sometimes you wonder what kind of people would do this. This is a document that you're not even supposed to have in the first place. Why would you share it on Facebook? Why would you share it on any other social media platform? Now the people will be after you. They're going to be knocking at your door and you will see where you run.
Exactly. Just before we run off, ECOWAS is meeting today to decide the next step on Guinea. They're talking about sanctions, and I'm thinking, how much trade even happens across the region? That's one thing to think about. Some amateurs are flying in space as we speak right now. So there's a SpaceX expedition, and some 4 people who have nothing to do with flying up there are up there in the sky. And I'm thinking, if something goes wrong, what do they do? And finally, this lottery is an interesting one. So a Mexican, if you remember El Chapo, this Mexican drug lord who tunneled his way out of his prison cell and got arrested, put back in, escaped again. Well, his property has been confiscated, and one of his houses has been put up as a prize for a lottery. Yeah.
Put it to some use.
Yes, instead of destroying it.
Put it to some use.
Instead of burning the house,
I would want to see who wins it and whether he wants to maintain it as a residential facility. I would have hoped that they would make it into some kind of orphanage or something that could be of more benefit to persons who were maybe homeless, as a shelter or of some sort. But hey, to each their own.
Can you imagine that my Africa bed boys knowing that there's a house at
El
stake?
Chapo's house.
Imagine in Ghana that instead of some small cash, there's a house. You know, some drug guy's house has been confiscated, and they're going to give it to one of these betting companies, and they're going to use it as a prize on a Barca versus Man U game.
Barca versus Man U. You wish. But we all lost yesterday. And then, some results from yesterday, some teams won and others lost. So, as for those who played the young boys and still lost, when they are playing men, I don't know what what the results would be. But there you go. Yesterday, Inter Milan lost to Real Madrid by a goal to nil. Atletico Madrid and Porto drew 0-0. Club Brugge PSG 1-1. So Messi did not shine yesterday. Liverpool 3, Inter Milan 2, Manchester City 6, and that was the clash that you needed to have watched yesterday.
How much?
6-3.
Why, it'd be hockey?
Where and
it'd be hockey.
So Leipzig had 1 red card. So it was a festival of goals. 6 goals to 3.
It wasn't hockey?
No.
Okay.
All right. It goes to. And then Ajax 5 and Sporting 1.
Oh,
so
whipping.
You're 1 and 2-0.
Why are you so obsessed with Man United?
Because 1-0 there, yeah.
Kofi Kenata will get you.
1-0 there, yeah.
He'll get you.
Because he's coming on the show and he's a huge Manchester United fan.
Indeed.
I'm sure Valerie would have loved to have you, Kofi, and we are waiting to have you on the yellow couch later on in the show. But there's a lot to keep us busy. Like we said, we keep you updated on issues that would affect your health. Today we are having a convo on arthritis. So we'll look at the causes and we'll look at how it can be prevented. Of course, we'll do traffic watch and keep an eye. Of course, Daryl and the team are standing by to highlight issues affecting some communities in the capital and beyond. And we'll look at building leadership capacity and also a library project, which my colleague Shirley Baywa has followed, and we'll have an interview as a follow-up to the story that she did on GBC News, and that was aired sometime during this week. Of course, you don't want to miss any of these things. Our WhatsApp line is active, 055 5561034. Send us your questions and comments, and follow our social media handles. Share our content as well, and invite others to join this breakfast menu that we are serving you this Thursday morning. Is Throwback Thursday, and so all our music will be something to bring back memories for you this morning. We'll be back to continue. Stick and stay.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is The Breakfast Show.
Assalamu alaikum.